Hiya, guys. I hope everybody is doing well. Hi, Carol. Vicky's here. Beverly's here. Beverly was first. Um, you'll have to forgive my appearance. I am still obviously packing in the thick of it. Dana knew the question though. What did you have for dinner tonight? If you didn't like what you had for dinner, tell me what you wish you had for dinner. Um, Dana, you said black bean soup out of the Instant Pot. Sorry, I'm squinting. And then a Subway sandwich for Sashina. I haven't eaten yet at all, so don't worry about that. Um, we have the divorce to keep watching tonight. I have to pack while we're watching tonight, you guys. Like I can't not. So I am going to be here. I have asked Larry Weaver to step in visually for me, but I will be still here watching. Um, like I said, we are continuing the divorce case that we started yesterday, which they divvied up their pinball machines and a few other things they did. Oh, Jesus, shit's not great. Um, Bev, pepperoni and sausage pizza. That sounds pretty yummy. I like. Hi, Grammy Rita. I hope you're well. Um, so we did watch a number of hours yesterday of this divorce, so we're going to continue on for a little bit today. I don't know exactly how much we'll do. That just mainly depends on what I feel like. I have a few other things to take care of this evening as well. But did we have any resolution on the queen size bed? Well, do remember that we split the bedding. Do we split the twin bedding? I mean, God, what pettiness all of this is in reality. Um, let's start watching. Oh, I did put it up to 1.25 speed. I thought 1.5 was a bit fast, but I think 1.25 is totally doable. Um, so let's get watching that. If you're oh good, the chat's working. Yes. Oh, thank God. I was working on that earlier and please work in all the screens. That'd be great. Okay, let's get going. Oh, also, yeah, no, I'm not even gonna talk about it. Let's just go. Let's just go. Why is it doing that? Come on, Judge. Oh,
All right, please unmute everybody. We're ready to get started. Mr. Party, click. Oh, okay, one moment, please. The 37th Circuit Court is back in session with the Honorable Brian K. Kirkham presiding. It is Tuesday, November 7th, 2023 at 1:30 p.m. And for case 2023-1126 DM, Jerry Pardiak versus Amber Pardiak, Attorney Umlauf for plaintiff and Attorney Kirkpatrick for defendant.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. When we ended this morning, Mr. Umlauf had completed his proofs and he was resting at that time. So proofs would be with you, Mr. Kirkpatrick. But before we begin that, I did give you some dates. So let me know with the attorneys. Are you available for next Tuesday, the 14th?
I am, Your Honor.
I could be in the morning.
Okay. Why don't we do this as we'll set that at 8:30, assuming that we may get done today, or if there's some spillover, maybe we could get that completed, then hopefully we could get it completed on the 14th in the morning. Okay, so put that in your calendars and we'll proceed on that date. Okay, and Ms. Kirkpatrick, you can call your first witness.
Yes, I'm
Oh,
gonna
hold
waive.
on, sorry. You had reserved on your opening. I didn't know if you wanted to do the opening or waive it at this point.
I've decided to waive at this point, and I will call my client to the stand.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Bardick, we'll have you raise your right hand, be sworn in, then we'll proceed.
Yep. Ma'am, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, go ahead when you're ready, Ms. Kirkpatrick.
So, Amber, how old are you? 43. And are you married? Yes. How long you been married? Almost 21 years. Okay. And is Jerry Pardik your husband? Yes. How many children do you have?
We have 4 children together, and I have 1 older child.
Okay. And are they all boys?
Yes, they're all boys.
Okay, so 5.
5 boys.
And your oldest is 20 years old?
23. My oldest.
Your oldest with Jerry
is 20.
is
Yes.
20 years old. Okay. All right. And his name is Quentin.
Yes.
How recently did he live at home?
That was in February, I think, of this year.
So February 2023?
Yeah.
Okay. Has he graduated from high school?
Yes, he has.
Okay. And do you live currently at 250 Reynolds, Springfield, Michigan?
Yes.
Okay. How do you come to be in that home?
Before she goes on and on and on about that, hold on, let me say hello. Hi, Miss Donna is here. Larry, could you just, Larry, I've got it for a minute. Thank you. I hope y'all are doing well. Loud Elvis is here. Michelle Moreland, Carol, Orlando Chiquita. I'm moving this week, so that's why I literally am listening to this, and there's like a construction dude outside the house just like doing stuff, and then Miss Figalicious is here too. Wonderful. So I am here. I'm just off the screen, literally packing, doing the things I need to do. But I'm prepared to hear how this couple started together. This will be she's going to go back 20 something years. Their oldest kid is 20 years old, so divorce. You hear that? See, just literally right outside my window. I look tired. Well, I'm not wearing any makeup except for what's left over from yesterday. So I may look tired, but it's mostly just no makeup. No makeup. Hashtag no filter.
Me and the boys went to a domestic violence shelter, and you can only stay there for a month. They gave us a week extension. I kept asking Jerry if he would please go stay with his parents so that we could come back to the house, but he wouldn't. So my friend Cindy offered to take us in. We've been staying with her. She rents the house from the guy that owns it.
Okay. So when Mr. Pardik described a man in the house and your friend Cindy, excuse me, they are not a couple?
No, they are not. Just friends.
Okay. And so Cindy rents from the man
Yes.
and then she subleases to you?
Yes.
Okay. Do you pay anything to stay in that home?
No, I don't.
And when did you move in there?
Mother's Day in May.
Okay. Is that 2023?
Yes.
Okay. And who moved in with you?
Just me, Sammy, Logan, Elijah.
Okay. Why didn't Quentin move in with you?
Because there's not really enough room for him, and he's staying with my mom, helping take care of her and my grandma.
Where do they live?
They're down in Ohio.
Okay. Do they live together in the same home?
Yes.
Okay. What part of the home on Reynolds Street do you live in?
We stay in the basement. We have a bedroom and a living room and a bathroom down there, and I have a bedroom on the 2nd story.
Okay. Is it a furnished or unfurnished basement?
Ladies and gentlemen, the accountant of the year on the Credence and Mikey channel, Miss Carrie is here. Thank you for being here. She's talking fast because I put it on 1.25 speed because I want to get it finished sooner. 1.5 was too fast, but the lawyer is like perfect speed at 1.25. I don't, yeah, I sped it up, yeah, on my end. So, uh, I normally watch court at like 1.5 or 2, like if I'm just reviewing court myself. So it doesn't seem super fast to me, but, and I don't know, maybe my brain keeps up with it, but that's why it is. It's at 1.25 speed. Also, so she's saying they have a sublet for $0. That seems like a good deal. I would like that sublet as well.
It's a furnished basement with carpet and everything.
Okay. Do you have some limited time of how long you can be there?
They would like us to leave as soon as possible.
All right. So you don't intend to stay there forever?
No,
All right. Now, where do the children sleep in the home?
all three of them sleep in the basement.
Okay. What are their sleeping arrangements?
They each have their own bed.
Okay. Where do you eat?
We eat down in the basement too. We have a refrigerator and a microwave.
Okay. Do you have a table?
No,
Okay. Where do you shower?
we have to use the upstairs shower in the second story.
Okay. And did you say that your bedroom is upstairs?
Yes,
So the boys are in the basement with their 3 beds?
yes.
Okay. Is this all one big room or does it have divided rooms?
The basement is one big room with a smaller bedroom off of it and a utility room with a bathroom in it.
Okay. All right. Where generally do you do the homeschooling?
Downstairs in the living room area.
Okay, and you said you moved in on Mother's Day 2023?
Yes,
And have you been there every night since then?
yes.
Okay. Now, when you left the marital home, what kind of things did you take with you?
The shelter only lets you bring 1 bag of clothes per person, so that's all we took.
Did you know when you left the marital home that you were going to be going to that shelter?
Yes, I had arranged it with them a couple days before.
Okay. And so did you tell Mr. Pardik you were going to visit your mom in Ohio?
I did.
Okay. Did you go visit your mom in Ohio?
No, I did not.
Okay. How long was it until you got in touch with Mr. Pardik?
It was 2 weeks later.
And then how did you get in touch with him?
I went to the house to get the other pets, or all the pets that we had to leave behind.
Okay. So tell us about that. Why did you go there?
Because I knew that he would not take care of the pets and they would all be dead if we didn't go back soon. So I took a cop and we went and got them. Half the chickens were dead and the cats were.
Oh, hey. Not what I was expecting to hear. You can't bring pets to a shelter. You certainly can't bring chickens to a shelter. Colin, thank you for being here. This is, did she just say that, did she say she brought a cop back to get the chickens? The Star Wars themed coffee maker yet? No, I think that is still up for debate. I mean, this couple had a lot of cool sort of memorabilia or like, I don't know what you would even call it. Stuff that the guys on like those antique shows would like. They're like antique stuff, I think. Um, and she knew they would be dead, right? Hmm. This is so weird. Her affect is so odd. Please do keep in mind we are playing it on 1.25 speed, but still her affect is a little bit off, right? Also, I'm off screen literally packing, so but I had to pull on. Yeah, and the full list, Miss Carrie, thankfully, the accountant, had kept a full list for us, which has been posted on the Discord. Um, wow.
We're both very skinny. The chinchilla was very skinny and barely.
There. Why did you go there?
Because I knew that he would not take care of the pets and they would all be dead if we didn't go back soon. So I took a cop and we went and got them. Half the chickens were dead and the cats were both very skinny. The chinchilla was very skinny and barely still alive. And the parakeet's cage was overflowing and they didn't have food or clean water.
Okay, so how many cats?
2.
How many chinchillas?
1.
How many birds?
2 parakeets.
Okay. And you said you had chickens?
Yeah, we had chickens. I believe there were 13 chickens and half of them were gone, or 6 of them were gone.
Dead or missing?
Missing. There were feathers, but the rest of them was gone.
Okay. Did you have some type of chicken house over at the home?
Yeah, we had a coop that was pretty much critter proof. Sammy would go out every night and lock them up, and we never lost any chickens when he was locking them up.
Okay, so what did you do with the remaining chickens?
I found a farm down in Coldwater that is holding them for us until we have somewhere to take them.
Okay. What did you do with the 2 cats?
They're with us in the basement.
How about the 1 chinchilla
He's in the basement too.
and the 2 birds?
They're upstairs in my bedroom.
Okay.
There's also a bearded dragon.
So a lizard.
Yeah, she's in the
Okay.
basement with the boys too.
Okay. All right. Have all those things remained with you?
Yes.
Okay. Were there some dogs?
Yes, my son had a dog that had puppies, and so there was the mom dog and 1 puppy left at the house. That I had to take them down to my mom's house because Jerry kept threatening to drown them in the creek because he just really doesn't like dogs at all.
When you say your son's dog, you remember that you have 5 sons. So which son?
Yeah, Bryce's dog.
Okay. And was that prior to you leaving the home?
Yes, him and his girlfriend lived together in January. They broke up on New Year's Day, and then he ended up coming to stay with us for a few days.
With his dog?
With the dogs, yeah. There was a mom and 3 puppies then.
And that was a problem for Mr. Party?
Yes, he came home from work and he was very angry and started yelling and screaming at us and saying I had to get rid of the dogs or he was going to do something to them. And he said I had to take them to the Humane Society by Friday or he would take care of it, meaning they would be killed.
Okay, so what did you do?
I called his girlfriend and I ended up taking her ex-girlfriend and I got her to take the dogs back for a while.
How'd they end up at your mother's house?
Eventually she couldn't keep them anymore and we found homes for 2 of the puppies, but not the 3rd. So I had to bring them back to the house and Bryce was staying with a friend because he just can't stay at the house with Jerry and everybody else. And so the dogs were there with us and he kept threatening us. And as I had him in the house one day when I was trying to fix a pen for them, and he was screaming. I could hear him from outside with the door shut and went in and tried to save the kids from getting yelled at. So then I decided to take him to my mom.
Okay. Now, Amber, can you tell us, after you and Jerry married, have you ever had a full-time job?
No, I have not ever.
Okay. And your first son must have been born right after your marriage. Is that correct?
Yes, I was pregnant with him when we got married.
Okay. Have you ever had paid work during your marriage?
Yes, but I never worked more than a few hours a week at a
Okay.
time.
Okay. Was there at one point, did you babysit for a living?
I did daycare 3 days a week with a friend. She had an in-home daycare, and I took all 3 of the boys with me that we had at the time.
Were you
Yeah, there is some lip smacking or teeth sucking going on in that screen there. I'm not sure which it is, if it's the lip smacking or the teeth sucking. Also, this is that's a lot of pets. I mean, it is logistically a difficult thing to organize and get that many people out of the house, but wow, Ew, Lisa, she's trying to get the pubes out from between her teeth. It's her attorney. It drove you nuts last night too, Wendy. I know. Yeah, is it's a smack. Could be off-screen sex. Well, I mean, no, nobody's having off-screen sex, Elvis. Okay.
Paid to do that?
Yeah, it's $5 an hour.
Okay. How long ago was that?
Sandy was an infant, so it would have been 2006, 2007, something like that.
Okay, so 2006, 2007. When is the next time that you had paid employment?
Well, while I was doing the daycare, I caught Jerry cheating on me. So then I got another job working at Bath and Body Works. And I got an apartment and moved out for a little while. And then I ended up moving back in with him.
Hold on. So you just lied then. Hi, Eve, Hayden, uh, whoever else just came in, Wendy. Seriously, didn't they say, did you ever have a paid job while you were married? No, I did not. Okay. Now, where is it that now she's said, oh, we did break up and I worked at Bath. What did she call it? Bed, uh, Bath and Body Works? Bath and Body Works? I don't think we have that here. We have a home. No, we don't have a Home Sense anymore. We used to. Bed Bath and Beyond. That's the one I was thinking of, but I don't think we have that here either. But yeah, she said he wouldn't let her have a job, and then all of a sudden she's a-okay to go work somewhere. Also, why would you get $5 an hour for taking care of kids? That seems ridiculously low to me, even in the early 2000s. I was working in the early 2000s too, and I made $10 an hour. So there.
So I worked at Bath and Body Works for 7 years, making $8 an hour.
Okay.
I only worked 6 hours a week at the most. I couldn't afford to stay in the apartment.
How long were you and Jerry separated?
Only 4 days.
Okay, and then you went back home.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said when you worked at Bath and Body Works, you never worked more than 6 hours per week?
No, never.
Okay. When did you start working at the church?
It was about 5 or 6 years ago.
How did you get that job?
The old person that cleaned that decided that they couldn't do it anymore, so there was a job opening, and my friend Cindy was the secretary at the time, and she told me about it, and I thought it would be good to have something to put on a resume because I wasn't working at the mall anymore at that point.
Okay, and what church is that?
Redemption Lutheran.
Is that the church that you attend?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And how many hours would you work cleaning the church?
I work 3 hours a week.
Ever more than 3 hours a week?
Sometimes it'll be 4 hours a week if there's some event and it needs a little extra cleaning. Sometimes it's only 2 hours.
Okay, and how much do you get paid an hour?
$10.46.
Do they give you any type of benefits like medical insurance or retirement?
I get a Christmas bonus of $300, and that has only been the last 2 years that I've gotten that though.
2 years, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you were working at Bath and Body Works or the daycare back in 2007, or now cleaning the church, when you would get paid, what would you do with your income?
I put it in the bank in the savings account. They had just my name on it.
Okay. And was that agreeable to you and to Jerry?
No, he didn't like it. And eventually he forced me to put his name on there too.
Okay. So is that where it stood at the time of your separation?
Yeah. And then he took all the money out of it.
Okay. So outside of the church cleaning, Bath and Body Works, and the daycare, have you ever had a different job?
No, not in Michigan. In Ohio, I worked at a sub shop and an outlet mall.
Was that before your marriage?
Yeah.
Okay. And so now as separated, have you found other work?
It was really hard, but a friend works in an assisted living place and she gave me a job there.
Okay. So I take it it's direct care.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I help take care of the residents that live there.
When did you start doing that?
It's been about 2 months now. It started with just cleaning. I would come in while they were asleep and work for maybe 2 hours, 3 times a week. But now I'm doing full 12-hour shifts,
Okay.
twice a week.
Okay. 2 times a week, 12-hour shifts. So that's 24 hours a week.
Yep.
Okay. And how much do you get paid there?
$15 an hour.
Okay. Any other benefits that go along with that?
No,
Okay.
not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Are you still cleaning the church?
Yes.
So cleaning the church for 3 hours a week and working at the assisted living for 24 hours a week. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So how long have you and Mr. Pardik lived in the marital home?
We bought it in 2007.
Okay. When you bought the home in 2007, was there a mortgage?
Yes, there was, because we also had a house in Golden Avenue, and so we had to have a mortgage until we sold the other house in 2009 and paid off the current house.
So the sale of your previous house paid off the mortgage for your current house?
That and a few payments, 2 years of payments, yeah.
So is it fair to say that 11 or 12 years, your current home has been paid off?
Yes.
Okay. Since you've been married to Mr. Pardik, what kinds of jobs has he had?
He's had engineering jobs, and that's all.
Okay. Did he go to school at all while the two?
I'm not sure I know anybody that's got their house fully paid off. Maybe a few people, but wow. I guess, but it's only worth $195, but still. That's shocking to me. I can't even imagine. Holy shit.
Two of you were married?
No.
Okay. Did he have a college degree?
Yes, he had a bachelor's degree when I met him.
Okay. How about you? How far did you get in school?
I was 6 credit hours away from an associate's degree when I moved up here to be with him.
Okay. Was that down in Ohio?
Yeah,
And during the marriage or before?
before.
What were you trying to get an associate's degree in?
I was going to be a teacher.
Okay. Have you been able to take any classes or go farther in school during your marriage?
No, he said it would be a waste of time and money because I wasn't going to work anyways.
Okay. Do you ever take any types of just one-off classes or anything like that?
I have gone for like a cake decorating class and one about essential oils, just little 3-hour classes at the community college before.
Okay, but nothing towards the degree.
No,
Okay. So when your children were small, after you moved up here to Michigan, what school did they go to?
we've lived in the Harbor Creek School District at first. So Bryce started school there, and then when I did the daycare, he went to Waddles Park School. And then when we moved into Urbandale, he went to Battle Creek Public Schools. The other kids started at Battle Creek Public Schools.
Public schools.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how do your boys back then when they were in regular school, how far did they go in school before they were homeschooled?
Bryce graduated from Central. Quentin was a freshman in high school there at Battle Creek Central, but he was doing really awful and he didn't pass any classes at all. We had meetings with the school. The teachers didn't bother to show up. So that was not really any help. We tried, but he just couldn't do anything.
Okay.
So he was in 7th grade. He was getting picked on all the time and bullied, and he had to sit out in the hallway to do his work because the kids were so disruptive that he could not pay attention during class. Logan was in 4th grade. He does really well in school, but the class got in trouble a lot, and he spent a good chunk of the year with his head down on the desk, not being allowed to go to gym or art or anything like that, recess, getting punished a lot for other things. Elijah was only in 1st grade. His class was still young and pretty well behaved, but he didn't have any trouble.
Okay, so you said that Quentin had a lot of trouble in school.
Yeah, he always has.
Okay. Does he have any special needs?
The school tested him twice, but didn't find anything. They would give him extra help during tests, like give him extra time or stuff like that. But
Okay.
he's never been diagnosed with anything.
Okay. And so was his problem behavioral, or he just couldn't do the work?
He just couldn't do the work.
Okay. Did you or you and Jerry try to do something to help him?
Yeah, I tried. I even went to school with him one day and sat in on his classes, and a lot of it was just so many distractions that there was no way he could pay attention, and nobody else was doing the work, so he wasn't going to do it either.
Okay. Did you ever move his school from Battle Creek to a different school district?
Yeah, we moved him to Galesburg, Augusta for a year, and then COVID hit, so he had to switch to online school through them, and then it just got to be really bad where he wasn't learning anything again.
Was he the only child that went to Galesburg, Augusta?
Yes,
Okay, so the year he went to Galesburg, Augusta, where did Sammy, Logan, and Elijah go?
they were home with me. I homeschooled all three of them.
Okay. Why didn't you start Quentin out at home with the other three boys?
He's just a lot to deal with. He needed a lot of one-on-one help, and the other boys did too, because they were kind of behind where they should have been in grades and stuff. So I needed to spend more time helping them one-on-one. And we thought maybe Quentin could get more help at the school.
Okay. So did you and Jerry agree that that schooling was a problem for the kids at that point?
Yes.
Okay. Did you and Jerry talk about what you might do to fix things?
Yeah, I had said something about homeschooling once, and then he decided that that was going to be the solution and that I was going to homeschool him.
Okay. So did you hear Jerry today? He said that the opposite of that he didn't want them to be in homeschool.
Yeah, that's not true.
Okay. Did you and Jerry try to fix things over at Battle Creek Public First?
Yes, we did. We had several meetings with all the
Wait, hang on.
schools.
Did somebody say something? I'm
Not
sorry.
that I heard it.
Okay, go ahead.
We had several meetings with the schools and tried to get them help, and I wasn't getting anywhere. So eventually Jerry stepped in and tried to help too. And that's when he got in the one principal's face and was yelling at him. And I think he just made it worse. And then we just took him out after that. It wasn't helping anyways.
Okay, so there you are. Now, Sammy was in 7th, Logan in 4th, and Elijah in 1st. What did you do to prepare yourself to homeschool these kids?
The pastor of our church, his wife homeschools their 7 children. So I went to their house for a day and watched what they did and had her show me where to get curriculums and things like that. And I talked to some other homeschool parents from our 4-H group to see what they would do. I did a lot of research.
Okay, and where did you end up getting your material to teach the kids?
I ended up ordering paper books online, and then the next year we switched to something else. And I believe it took 3 years before we found a curriculum that we really liked, that the boys were getting a lot out of.
Okay, how did you go about? Did they sit down at the kitchen table, or how did you go about teaching them?
Yeah, we were all in the living room together, and they would all be in separate seats, and I would have them come to me one at a time and tell them what to do or help them do it if they needed to.
Okay. And was Jerry helping you
No.
homeschool the kids?
No, he never did.
Did he do anything?
If there were math problems we couldn't figure out, sometimes he would help with those, but he would make it so complicated that it wasn't worth the trouble, and it was easier to ask Google.
Okay. So how did the boys respond to being taught at home?
They did way better. They were all behind in reading except for Logan, and they all caught up to grade level. They're all reading really well now, and they're all caught up in math. They are all where they should be now on everything. And they're a lot more social and outgoing than they used to be. They used to be very shy, not really talk at school at all. And now they're not like that at all.
Now you mentioned 4-H. Were the boys in 4-H prior to you homeschooling?
Yes, they were.
How long have they been active with 4-H?
Since Elijah was 8 years old was the first year we did it.
Okay, and
So
he's
that would have been
13?
2018. So the year before we started homeschooling.
Okay. Now, are you involved in any like mothers groups or anything for your church to get kids together for homeschooling?
Yeah, we have a hiking group, and we have a history class that we go to with other kids, and an art class. And we just have a group. The boys call themselves the Wild Boys. We get together and they talk to each other pretty much every day. They're the best of friends. They're all other homeschooled kids.
Okay, so the history group, how often do you get together?
Every other week on a Tuesday or a Thursday.
Okay, and is these are other homeschooled kids?
Yes, 2 other homeschooled families.
And do the mothers get together with you?
Yeah, sometimes we get together and go to our class, or sometimes we go out to eat.
Okay. How often do they get involved in their 4-H group?
That's once a month.
Okay. You mentioned art class. How often do you do that?
That's every other Friday.
And is that all homeschool kids too?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Now I think you said there was a cost for that.
Yeah, it's $10 per kid for every class.
Is that for the materials?
Yeah, for the paint and all the supplies.
Okay. Do you ever volunteer to teach?
Yeah, sometimes I teach the painting, and then she lets my kids paint for free.
Okay. Now you said there was a hiking group.
Yeah, we're more active in the winter time, but we like to try to go once a week and go hiking. Sometimes it doesn't happen once a week, but that's the goal. Even in the snow, we try out different trails, and the kids just have a great time.
And that's all homeschool kids too?
Yes.
Okay. So the Wild Boys you were talking about, how many kids are there that get together?
There's 14 boys and 6 moms.
Okay. Do you do outings with them?
The Wild Boys and their moms get together for their group. Come on now. She is really buffing up all these homeschool activities. That would be like me, like, well, we work a lot on language arts, and then we do this, like breaking down each class that you do. When you do homeschooling, this is all part of the curriculum, right? Like, come on now. I'm not finding myself feeling bad for her, and I don't know why. Uh, maybe it's the tone of voice. I don't really know, but she's not sympathetic in my mind. I'm not feeling sympathetic towards her. Come pack my house, bitch. I got a lot to do here. You sound like you're just complaining.
Yeah, we have parties with them. We had a Halloween party, a bonfire, and a haunted trail, and we took turns. We let the kids scare the adults, and then the adults hid and scared the kids, and it was a great time. We do it every year.
Okay. Have you ever had the boys involved in any sports or extracurricular activities like that?
Yes, the 3 older ones used to play soccer when they were young, and when Logan was born, they still played for a while, but it got to be really hard on me to take 3 kids to practices and games by myself and keep track of everybody. And then when Elijah was born, I just couldn't do it anymore, so we had to stop.
Okay. Why were you doing it by yourself?
Jerry said I signed him up for it, so it was my problem to figure it out.
Okay.
All right, you wee cunt. Hold on. I guarantee you, I can go to the soccer pitch down the way, or in Canada here, the hockey rink, and you're going to find a mom out there who has 6 kids and her husband is nowhere to be seen. Okay? And she didn't quit because she had another baby. Does that not tell you something about if you should have another baby? If you have to quit activities that your other children are doing because you become too overwhelmed because you've had a baby? I don't think that's fucking cool. Also, I guarantee if you asked any deeper, did any of those kids do much more than the first year of soccer, or like, oh, that's bothering me. That's lame. You can't just, you can't blame Jerry for you quitting. I mean, who can't do that? One of the wee babbies is going to be in a infant seat for a while. So, I mean, you can tote them around for at least a year. You don't have an excuse when you've just had a new baby. No, no, no. And please keep in mind, I coached my daughter's soccer team because my lazy ass husband didn't want to come either. So I understand, but I only also had one kid, but I was coaching. So anyway, believe me, I was looking at like, can you imagine? I'm coaching, I'm doing the reverse crab legs, I'm doing all the different moves that we do, hanging out with the 5-year-old kids playing soccer, and then she's bitching about being tired on the sidelines? No, no.
How about 4-H? Did he help you with that?
No, he did not. He said pretty much the same thing about 4-H. It was my problem. I decided to volunteer and do it, so I had to figure it out. It was all on me.
Okay. Were there any activities that you were doing with the boys or the homeschool groups or extracurricular that Jerry did get involved in?
He came to the Halloween parties. Sometimes there would be a birthday party that he would go to, but nothing else.
Did he come for this year, last
No.
week?
No.
Okay. Okay, so do any of those homeschool groups have camping trips?
Yes, we try to go on a camping trip every summer all together. It's always a really good time. We went to South Haven this year.
Was it the Wild Boys group?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And so did you?
You guys, wouldn't it be so cool if we could all go on a camping trip? That would be amazing. Also, I think IEPs aren't always ridiculous. Like my daughter has an IEP that I got for her, and it has to be ridiculous sometimes because no offense, but there are some teachers that don't want to deal with it and some teachers that do. And so you have to be very broad on your IEP in order to cover all the bases just in case. You don't have somebody that sort of gets the program. Um, Dildos and s'mores, Miss Carrie. Wouldn't that be so fun? So what I'm reminded of is I didn't go to a homeschool, but I went to a very small school. From kindergarten to the 7th grade. There was from kindergarten to the 7th grade, there was like 100 kids in the school. So it was very, very, very small school. And so they would do like class camping trips and they would combine the divisions. So they'd be like, Div 2 and Div 3 are going camping this week or this weekend, and that your family would go camping too. Like it was a family camping trip. It was pretty cool. An IEP stands for, at least in Canada where I live, it stands for an individualized education plan. So here, to get an IEP, you have to be assessed by a psychoeducational assessment. That psychoeducational assessment will rank the person on their abilities in different levels, and then they will suggest different accommodations as it goes. Uh, if you don't have an IEP, even if a child is quite obviously struggling, they aren't always afforded the same accommodations um, that they might be able to get if they had an IEP, which is why it's important to get it as early as you can if you're concerned about your child having a learning disability, because it is for me, it's been a very, it doesn't, so for example, but my daughter's IEP doesn't afford the school any extra funding whatsoever because of the, like, whatever level it is, but it does allow me to go to the school and say, no, you will accommodate her in this manner. And they have to in, in some senses. So that's why it can be good, but it has to be placed in the right hands. If you're dealing with a child who's already experiencing difficulties and they come from a home where maybe that parent should have had their own IEP, but they didn't, and they actually aren't very well equipped to go and help a child through, like, navigate through the school system, an IEP will be almost useless for that child because you need somebody standing behind the IEP driving that forward in order to get a child through school with the least amount of damage. Uh, that's my opinion on it. Of course, I'm not a teacher by any stretch of the imagination, but I was a child who probably should have had an IEP. I didn't. I failed school miserably many times, barely graduated high school, but yet I'm pretty smart. It's not really the same way, you know? There's no additional funding for certain things. If you get to a certain level, there's more funding, but Mhm. What time is it? Why is that still happening?
parents go with all the boys?
Yeah, all 6 moms went and all the boys went. No dads went.
How long was that trip?
It was Tuesday to Friday.
Okay. So did Jerry have a parenting time that was scheduled during that time?
Yes, he did on Wednesday. I asked him if we could trade for Monday, but he wouldn't. So I told him I would drive the boys back so that he would let us go.
Okay. But you tried to get him to switch with you first?
I tried. I said he could have any day he wanted, but he said no.
Did he say why it was no?
He said that Elijah had confirmation on Wednesday and he needed to go. It was never a problem to miss confirmation before.
So do you attend the church that you clean at?
Yes, I do.
How long have you attended that church?
I started going there when I was pregnant with Elijah, so 16 years.
16 years. Okay. Did you and Jerry and the boys go as a family?
We did until about 7 years ago, and then Jerry stopped going and only me and the boys went.
Okay. Why did Jerry stop going?
I'm not sure. He just said he didn't want to go anymore, and he just didn't get up and go with us anymore.
Fuck you, Jerry.
Not at all.
Easter and Christmas, if there was food there, he would sometimes go, but a lot of times he wouldn't.
If there was food there. What a bitch.
Okay, well, he testified here today that he takes the boys to the church on his weekends.
He only started doing that a couple of months ago. And he only goes on the weekends he has the boys, never when I have them.
When you have the boys on the weekends, do you take them to church?
Yes, I do.
When you don't have the boys on the weekend, do you go to church?
I do, but a lot of times I babysit and then I don't get a chance to go. But if I'm not babysitting, I do go.
Okay. If that's the case, do you sit by them or do you sit somewhere else?
We all sit in the same pew. The understanding is that we sit very far apart from each other and the kids sit in the middle.
Is that uncomfortable for the kids?
Yeah, it's uncomfortable for me and the kids.
Okay. Do you have any intention of leaving that church to go somewhere else?
No, I don't.
Okay. Tell us about the confirmation you were just talking about. Is that the Lutheran way of joining the church?
Yes, it's kids start when they're in 5th grade and go through 8th grade, and it's once a week during the school year. They take off time at Christmas, and it's from 6:30 to 8 o'clock. And when they're done, they get confirmed, and then they can take communion with the adults.
Okay. So which of your children are involved with that right now?
Right now, Elijah's the only one in it.
Okay. And so that was the problem about Wednesday. Jerry didn't want him to miss confirmation?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, most of the time when the boys were young, was Jerry gainfully employed?
Yes.
Okay. And did he have health insurance
Yeah.
for you and the children?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And did he or did both of you take the children to doctors and dentist appointments?
I'm the only one that took them to anything like that.
Okay. Why is that?
He was at work and he didn't want to take off work to do things like that, so I did all of it.
Okay. Did he ever go with you?
No, not that I can recall.
How about since the two of you have been separated? Has he taken any of the boys to the doctor or dentist?
No.
Okay. Do any of the boys have particular medical or emotional problems?
Yeah, Sammy has asthma. It's exercise induced, so sometimes he runs around too much, he gets to wheezing. Needs his inhaler.
Okay. How about the other boys?
No, they don't.
Do any of them take medication for depression or anxiety?
No.
Okay. So how about you? Do you have any medical needs?
Yeah, I have quite a few. I get migraines and I have asthma and I have Hashimoto's disease, which means my thyroid doesn't work like it's supposed to. And I have Lyme disease and causes a lot of joint pain and inflammation and makes me really tired all the time.
Okay. How long have you had Lyme disease?
Probably about 15 years. It took a long time to get diagnosed, so I can't be exactly sure.
Jerry
Okay.
wouldn't let me.
And what does having Lyme disease cause for you on a regular basis?
A lot of joint pain and just pain all over my legs hurt a lot. I get headaches and I'm pretty much always tired.
And who treats you for your Lyme disease?
I have a doctor I go to.
Okay. And you said you have hypothyroidism.
Yeah, that's part of the Hashimoto's disease.
Okay. How does that affect you on a day-to-day basis?
It's pretty well controlled now, but I get really tired. I get worn out easy. I get overheated easily. It's really easy to gain weight, so I have to watch what I eat.
Okay. Did you say that you have asthma as well?
Yes,
Do you have an inhaler?
yes.
Do you ever need to have breathing treatments?
No, it's pretty well controlled too, but I keep my inhaler in my purse all the time. And like if I catch a cold, I'm more likely to be able to need it.
And do you have any allergies that affect you on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I'm allergic to dust and mold, and you pretty much can't get away from those. And I'm allergic to quite a few animals too.
Now, do you take any regular medications?
Yeah, I take asthma medicine every morning and allergy medicine and thyroid medicine. And I take a few supplements because when you have thyroid disease, your stomach acid is low and you don't absorb vitamins and nutrients like you should. So I take a lot of vitamins to stay healthy as I can.
Okay. Did you put together a folder of information about your doctors and places that you've been treated?
Yeah, I had a white binder in the house because I've been to quite a few doctors before I found anybody that helped me. And so I would keep all the different test results and information in there so I could have it to go back on. And I've had doctors that have offices that have closed on me, so I can't get that information back. And it was all in a binder in the house, and I asked for it multiple times, but he keeps saying he forgot to bring it to me every time I asked.
Okay, so you left that white binder in the marital home?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I asked him for it, and he called me and asked me exactly where it was, and I guided him to where it was in the basement.
This is weird. Wouldn't she be allowed to just go collect that with a police escort? When, like, she collected the fucking animals? Like, I know they don't want you to take a lot of stuff to a shelter, and I get that, but critical medical documents, yeah, they do want you to take that. They do.
On the phone, and he said he found it, and then he went through it with me on the phone after I asked him not to, and then he never did bring it to me.
Would you like him to give it to you?
Yes, I would.
And did Jerry say why he wouldn't bring it to you?
He just kept saying he forgot, and he told me he took it to his lawyer, and his lawyer looked through it.
Okay. Okay. Do any of the health concerns that you have stop you from being able to provide care for your children?
No.
Okay. Do you take any tranquilizers or pain medication or any other prescription anxiety medication?
No, I only take Tylenol and ibuprofen for pain and nothing else.
Okay. So Jerry testified that he found a couple of pill bottles that he thinks you have for some reason that were your mother's or your grandmother's.
Yeah, my mom used to come up to visit every 3 months, so I assume that they fell out of her purse or something, and I don't remember for sure, but she lives with my grandma, takes care of her, so it would make sense that she would have some of my grandma's pills. My grandma comes up to visit with my mom sometimes, not every time, but
How old is your grandma?
she's almost 87.
Okay. All right. And they live together?
Yes.
Okay. So you don't take any of their medications?
No, I do not.
Did Mr. Pardik ever bring that up to you before?
No, I had never heard of that before.
Okay. Okay. Now, are you interested in enrolling your children?
Hold on. Yeah, that's a good point. If the pills are important enough to carry with them and take on a trip, then they're important enough to be noticed missing. Unless you stole them out of the cabinet, allegedly, and they were found at the house. Hmm.
In Battle Creek public schools?
No, I'm not. They're much happier not in that environment. They learn a lot more this way too. They can get all the one-on-one help they need with me.
Okay. Are you finding that as they grow older, it's more difficult to teach older students?
No, I just follow along right with what they're doing and I have no problem whatsoever.
Were you able to get all of your homeschooling documents out of the marital home?
No, all the homeschool stuff is still in the house in the basement. We had to sign up for an online program because he would not let us have any of the homeschool stuff out of the house. It's all paperwork, books and things.
Okay, and I take it by him, you're talking about Jerry?
Yes,
Did you ask him if he would let you have those things?
several times. He said that he would bring them to me, but he never did.
Did he ever say that he wanted to use them to teach the boys?
No, he never did.
Okay. Before you separated, you and Jerry separated April 2023. Did Jerry say that he was dissatisfied with the job you were doing teaching the boys?
No, he would actually brag to his family and our friends and everybody that would listen how much better they were doing at home with me and how awful the schools were.
Okay. Did you ever look into like a religious? Wow. That's a weird statement too. That was weird. Do you hear how that came out? That is so weird. And she did say they get a new curriculum every year, Wendy. Good point. Also, here's the thing. If you split up and leave, buy another fucking set. I mean, it's like people when they're like, oh my God, they won't transfer the cell phone to me. So just get a new phone. Whole new number, new company. Just base school, Christian school or Catholic school or anything?
I did check into it, but it just, that they're doing so well homeschooling that they just would rather do that.
Okay. So do you think it's possible your son did not know what grade he's in?
It's possible because a lot of the homeschooling materials are by level, not by grade, and you might be in a different level in math than you are in English because I do by what their ability are, is, you know, not exactly what level, but he does know what grade he is in.
Okay.
He just gets nervous around adults.
So I take it that you had to replace all the pads and pencils and, you know, other things that you needed?
Yes, the domestic violence shelter gave us things, found notebooks and pencils and things like that for us. They even loaned us laptops to use.
Do you normally work on laptops?
No, we don't. We usually use paper.
Okay. So the program online that you have been using since you don't have the books that are in the house, how does that work?
They just log on every day and then it has various links to different videos and quizzes, and I get emailed the results of all their quizzes.
Okay. And is there any mandatory state documents or testing or that type of thing that the state of Michigan requires that the kids get involved in?
No, there's not.
How do you know when they're ready to graduate from high school?
The curriculum we use goes all the way to 12th grade, and when they mastered all that and they mastered algebra, then I graduated them.
Okay. Now, do you have any behavioral issues with the kids while you were teaching them?
No, never. They're very well behaved.
Never? I mean, they're perfect and always listen?
They might
Never?
pick on each other sometimes, but they're just having fun and nobody really gets upset about it.
Okay. And so that you find that they listen to you and respect you while you're speaking?
Yes, they do. If I tell them to stop doing something, they listen to me.
Okay. Now, is there anything that you would change going forward in the way that you are teaching them?
No, we're really happy with the curriculum that we have at the house. I'm not really happy with the online curriculum that we use. I would rather go back to the paper books we had before. I think that was a lot more in-depth than the online curriculum.
Okay. What?
I would like to maybe put them in Gull Lake Virtual Academy for some
Easy for me to
extracurricular
forge.
classes.
Okay. What is the Gull Lake Virtual Academy?
It's a state-funded program, and they can take up to 3 extracurricular classes per kid per semester, and they have almost 1,000 classes, from fencing to clay to Lego building classes and engineering classes. They have a wide variety of things that the boys can pick from. Sammy did astronomy through there once, and he really enjoyed that.
Okay. And so any kid can just do that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And there's no cost involved?
Nope.
All right. Now, what kind of projects and things were you helping the boys with 4-H?
They like to do a ceramics project every year, and we always do tie-dye. We usually do stepping stones, and this year they had blankets they were going to sew, and they were all ready to go, but they just needed finishing touches, but they couldn't finish them before the fair. They do candles and soap making, pencil drawings, Lego sculptures. It's all craft projects, but it's a wide variety of things.
Okay. How long have they been entering their craft projects at is it the Calhoun County Fair?
Yes, since 2018.
Okay. Okay, so in the past, the kids would go to the fair and show their crafts.
Yes, I would take them and we would do judging. They would show their projects to each judge, and then we would arrange our booth, and they would get prizes, and then we would get wristbands and get to go to the fair all week.
So as long as they were participants, then you were able to go to the fair?
Yeah, if you you have to have projects judged to get into the fair for free all week. Otherwise, you can't go.
Okay. And was that your plan for 2023?
Yes, that was the plan. I made plans with Jerry to switch weekends so that I would have them that weekend, and he wouldn't have to worry about it at all. And that just didn't work out. We traded days, and I held up my end of the bargain, and he didn't hold up his end.
Okay, and so when did you realize that he wasn't going to take the boys to 4-H to the fair?
The night before, about 8 o'clock in the evening.
Okay, what did he say?
He said that the school start date had been moved, and that I had hidden it from him, and that he was going to keep them and not bring them back to me. And I asked him if he would at least please take them to the fair for judging, and he said no. And I explained to him several times that if we didn't get our wristbands, we couldn't go, and I can't afford to pay to get in. And he just would not. He would not do it. And then the next morning, he didn't bring me the boys.
Okay. How did the boys' projects get to the fair?
Me and Quentin packed them all up and took them to the fair, and I was just hoping that he would show up with the boys.
Okay, so you brought them. Was it the day of the judging or before?
It was the morning of the judging.
Okay. And did the boys end up showing up?
Yes, they did.
How long did they stay?
Just until judging was over, and then he made them leave.
Okay. So did they find out while he was there if they had won or not?
No, a lot of their projects had been.
Wait, so they went to the fair? Was that whole story about not going to the fair and then turns out they fucking went to judging at the fair? What the fuck?
Held back for consideration for rosettes, and we were waiting for all those to come back, and he made them leave, so they didn't know what they won. I had to take pictures and send them to Sammy so he would know what he won. He got a rosette for his ceramics painting.
As far as you could tell, was there any reason that he needed to act that way, Jerry?
No, not that I know of.
Okay. Have you been able to talk with Jerry since you've been separated about the kids?
We text about the kids sometimes, but talking to him about anything is like pulling teeth, and he insists on recording me constantly, and it makes me very uncomfortable. So I try not to talk to him in person anymore.
How do you know that he's recording you?
He holds his phone right in front of him, and I can see it.
Okay. Have you asked him not to do that?
Yes, I have several times.
When's the last time you?
Oh, I'm laughing because I just saw the comment. Oh yes, perfect. We hear that, right? Tell me you hear it. But seriously, who did I just see? There were 4 mics in the class, 4th grade class, 4 mics, right? That we will always be reminiscent of my story. Hi, Miss Courtney. My story about the 3 mics that were in my cell phone. And ever since this day, I now use emojis to identify the different mics. or different names. But yeah, because I got a text from one of the guys and anyways, that story, I'm gonna have to formulate how to tell that story. Needless to say, I texted back the wrong mic, or I texted the right mic, the wrong thing, and was mortified when I realized that I had texted it to the wrong guy. And after that, I started using emojis in the names of people so that I knew who they were. A last name abbreviation for each mic. Yeah, like not something I ever had to deal with being a Paisley. There weren't often other Paisleys in my class, but even in your cell phones, folks, there can be a lot of people in there. Also, if you're just getting here, welcome. Thanks for being here. Please clock in for your shift by hitting the like button. Make sure that you have subscribed to the channel. We are on the climb to 500 people. It's going to happen. Yeah, flames after some, lips after some, hearts after some. Of course, skulls. Hundy P, Courtney. There's a whole little language, and the beauty about that language is that only you know what it means. So you don't have to necessarily put skulls. You could put something else. We did find out I was using what we now know is a rosary symbol as a bit of a kinky symbol in my phone for a while. But I think one of you guys taught me that was actually a rosary. Anyways, this divorce is just petty as fuck. If you'd actually like to see listed out what these guys were fighting over / agreed upon, Miss Carrie has done an excellent job in the Discord. So just say that you want to be a member of the Discord. I'll post a link to it. And it is she posted a whole list of what these people were fighting over and agreed. It was a really long read, a very long read. You don't think it has kinky symbols, Wendy, but anything can be kinky if you think it through. Also, hi, Cellulite Yoga Pants. Hope you're doing well.
You saw him do that
2 weeks ago.
Okay. Okay. Did he receive, after the court's order, of course, did he receive every other week of parenting time during the summer?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Did you start and stop according to any particular schedule?
Yeah, we were going by the Battle Creek Public School schedule. I was going by the calendar that they had published when school got out in the fall, or I mean in the spring. I didn't know that it had changed. It had changed sometime in the summer, and I had no reason to keep looking at the website, so I didn't know.
Okay. And so now, when is Jerry receiving parenting time with the boys?
Every other weekend and Wednesdays and every other holiday.
How do you think the parenting time is going between Jerry and yourself?
I don't know. It's very stressful, and I'm not always sure that he's bringing them back. They run late a lot.
Okay. Do any of the children have cell phones?
I got a new phone and gave Sammy my cell phone because Jerry doesn't have a landline at the house, and I'm uncomfortable with them being there with no way to call anybody. And I got Logan a free government phone.
Okay. Do you talk to the children on Dad's parenting time?
Yes, every day.
I mean, do they call you?
We text back and forth. Sometimes they call me.
Okay. Okay. Are you giving him the parenting time he's supposed to have according to the order?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Has Jerry contacted you about the schooling and what you're doing to homeschool them?
He's texted a couple of times asking how are the boys doing, and I say, oh, they're doing good. Or he said, what have they been up to? And I'll say, oh, they're doing their schoolwork and hanging out with their friends. And that's all he ever asks. He never asks for any details or anything.
Okay.
And that's very seldom does he even ask that.
Okay. What is your hope about
housing and being able to house the children going forward?
We would very much like to move back into the house and be all together again, just me and the boys. And the 2 older boys are going to come live with me too.
So if you were granted the house, all 5 of them would be in the home?
Yes, they would.
Okay. Now you understand that the home was appraised and it's valued at 190,000, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so how would you go about financing paying Mr. Pardik for his share of this home?
My mom offered to loan me the money.
And so you would pay Mr. Pardik off with that, and then you'd work it out between your mom?
Yes.
Wow, lucky her. So okay, so they're gonna get a divorce. They have to split the house. I guess that part sucks. If you own a house, you got to split the house. Thank you, Courtney. It's a little more sexy than I may have intended to, but I'm here for it. Um, like I said, I'm moving, so I'm finding all my different thingamajiggers around the house. Um, Hi, Mikey. Thank you for being here. These are the same people from yesterday, the pinball people. Now they are talking about their house that they had paid off for years, and I guess her mom's gonna give her the money just like her mom gave her those pills from earlier, right? Right? And I can hear things outside. I don't want you to hear that. Let's keep going.
Okay. Why do you want to move back into that house?
It's just that it's our home. It's where they grew up.
Okay. Do you think that you have the ability to keep up the maintenance and take care of the home?
Yes, I do. My son is very handy, Bryce. A lot of the stuff has already been done in the house, like the plumbing and the roof, and I'm confident we could take care of it all.
So Mr. Pardik indicated to us that you know he spends a lot of money on maintenance of the home and fixing up the home. Do you think that that's correct?
No, I do not. He did the roof himself. He did the plumbing himself to save money. Nothing has been updated. The kitchen and the bathrooms are ancient. Nothing has been updated since the 50s.
Okay. Now I saw that there's like a creek running through the backyard of the home.
Yeah, there's a small creek in the backyard and a swamp
Okay.
and some woods.
Is that
Creek?
what he takes the boys fishing in?
No, he takes them to a lake.
To a lake. Okay. Okay. So
Is a crick a thing?
is the financial help you're able to get from your mother something that can happen very soon?
Yes, she has the funds available right now.
Okay. So if he was, you know, able to move out, you'd be able to move in?
Yes, immediately.
Okay. Okay. So can you tell me how long it was till you received any financial support from Mr. Pardik?
I believe it was the end of July, beginning of August before I got anything.
Okay. So beginning of August.
I think so, yeah.
What were you doing? How were you living?
I had to charge everything.
What were you charging it to?
My credit card, the Fifth Third card.
Okay. And so you have a Fifth Third credit card?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Is it something that Mr. Pardik has used in the past, or is it just yours?
It's just mine. He would order me to order things for him sometimes, so
Okay. How long have you had it?
probably about 10 years.
Okay. What's the balance on that card?
$12,000. I had to buy the boys new clothes and shoes.
Well, I mean, new clothes and shoes didn't cost $12,000. What kind of other
No.
stuff's on there?
Food and car repairs, and the cat got really sick.
Okay. Is this a card that Mr. Pardik has been paying on?
No.
He's made no payment on that account.
He made a payment on it in May, I believe, after I had already paid it.
In May of 2023?
Yes.
And then after that point, you charged an additional $12,000?
Yeah, the car broke down on me 3 times.
Okay. Do you have any other credit cards?
I have a Sears credit card. It has $2,000 on it.
How long have you had that card?
Probably 15, 16 years.
What kind of things did you charge on there?
It was mostly just food and gas.
Food and gas. Okay. Do you have a Fifth Third joint account with your son Quentin that has $10,590 on it?
No.
Okay. Do you have a account with your son Quentin?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And how long have you had an account with your son Quentin?
He opened the account in August of this year.
So August of 2023?
Yes.
Why does it have your name on it?
He just wanted my name on there too in case he needed the money and couldn't go get it for some reason.
Okay. How much is in that account?
I believe there's like $7,500 in it.
Wow. You do have an accent, Mikey. You absolutely do have an accent. Just like evidently I have an accent as well. But mine, well, I don't hear it either. Maybe that's the whole thing about accents is that you don't hear them when you've got them. And she's involving the kids and putting her money in their name. I don't like that. What kind of kid has $7,500 just saved up? Right? Also, is there Sears still? Because we don't really have Sears anymore. I used to have an HBC credit card, which was Hudson Bay Company, the Bay. I don't know if you know that company, but it was like Canada's like the biggest sort of department store that we had. Look at them all coming to your rescue. Vicky says you don't have an accent, Mikey. I have to disagree, Vicky. Even in real life, Mikey had an accent. It wasn't just a TV thing.
Okay. Where did the money that opened that account come from?
It was his graduation money that we took out of the closed Fifth Third account.
Okay. There was an account for $10,590 at Fifth Third with your son Quentin.
Yes, there was.
It got closed out, right?
Yes.
He opened a new account with your name on it someplace else.
Yes.
And that has money in it.
Yes.
Is any of that money yours or Jerry's?
No, it's all Quentin's money.
Did you allow your name to be placed on an account with your son Bryce?
Yes, he needed to take out a loan for $3,000 and he needed a cosigner because his credit wasn't quite open or high enough to open it. So I co-signed for him.
And when approximately was that?
It was sometime this summer.
And was it with Advia Credit Union?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Was that your loan?
No, it was not. It was all his loan.
Okay. Have you made payments on it?
No, I have not.
Okay. As far as you know, is it still pending or is it paid off?
I believe it is either already paid off or will be paid off in the next month or two.
Okay. So besides the fact that your name was on it, it means nothing to you and Jerry.
Yeah, it's not involved at all.
Okay. Okay, so the accounts that Jerry mentioned as being paid off in May of this year, $432 to Fifth Third, $5,212 to Fifth Third, and $516 to Cabela's. Does that sound like accounts that you and he had?
It sounds like it's backwards. It was usually me buying everything for the house, so mine would have more on it, and his would have only gas on it. So I'm not sure why he had so much on his, but those do sound like our credit cards.
Okay. Do you have any access to those accounts?
I have the Fifth Third card. I do not have access to either one of them.
Okay.
I have not been getting the bills though, so I do not know exactly what is on them.
Okay. You've not made any payments on those 3 cards.
On the Fifth Third card, I've been paying $300 a month in cash.
Okay. Okay. Tell us about the automobiles that you and Jerry purchased during the marriage. 2005 Honda Civic.
He bought that when he was working in Detroit and he needed to go back and forth, and it had really good gas mileage, so he bought that for himself to drive back and forth.
Okay. But it was bought during the marriage?
Yes,
Okay. And do you have it currently?
I do.
Did you take it with you when you left the marital home?
Yes, I did. It was the most dependable of the cars.
Okay. How about the 2003 Pontiac Aztek? Is that in your care?
No, that is in the driveway of the house. It has not been driven in 6 or 7 years.
6 or 7 years?
Yes, it's just been sitting there.
Okay. Do you agree that somebody could come and junk it?
Yes.
The 2004 Chrysler Town and Country, do you have that vehicle?
No, I don't. He has that. We bought that from a friend last winter.
Okay. How much did you pay for it?
$1,500.
Why didn't you take that one when you left?
Because that's the car he drove back and forth to work, and I don't want to drive that car. It has issues. It has a radiator leak, and I don't know how to manage the problems it has.
Okay. And the 2006 GMC Yukon.
That was bought for me to drive. I was the only one that ever drove it. I drove it all winter long. Every year it started having electrical problems and the battery would go dead and all the time randomly, so I didn't take that with me.
Okay. When's the last time you drove it?
I would have driven it in April before we left. I probably drove all of us up to church in it.
April of 2023?
Yes.
Okay. So the 1999 Ford Mustang, where did that come from?
He had that when I met him, but it was not paid off until after we were married. I remember writing the checks for it and mailing them in.
Okay. How long did you pay on it after you got together? Or not?
No.
Okay. Why do you think that is not his vehicle, that it's your marital vehicle?
Because we were using marital money to pay it off, to make the payments on it.
Okay. Okay.
How that works?
How many boats do the 3 of you have?
There are 3.
And
3.
did Mr. Hardy own all 3 of them before you got married?
No, he did not. He owned the John boat before we got married.
Okay. And what about the other 2?
The rowboat his dad gave to us as a family, and the ski boat his dad also gave to us as a family.
Do you ever take the rowboat or the ski boat out without him?
No, I'm not very good at backing them up.
And both of them are on trailers or just the ski boat?
Just the ski boat.
Okay. Do you have any retirement from any company?
No, I do not.
Do you have any savings accounts that we have not talked about?
No, I don't.
Do you have any checking accounts that we haven't talked about?
I opened a checking account for my paychecks.
Okay. When did you do that?
Like 2 months ago.
Okay. And what bank is it with?
Marshall Community Credit Union.
Okay. You just use that for your checks?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any more debt or accounts with any of your children?
No.
Okay. And so you knew about Jerry's Fidelity 401k, correct?
Yes,
From his previous employer?
yes.
Does he have any other retirement account you know about?
He had one other one. I saw the papers that came to the house, the letters came to house, but I never opened them.
Okay. Where was that from?
I can't remember. Rosler, maybe.
Okay. Okay. So are you capable of working 40 hours instead of 27 hours?
It would be really hard. I would get really tired. I'd be in a lot of pain.
Okay. How is working 27 hours and homeschooling the kids, how is that working for you?
It's not too bad since I only work 2 days a week. Then I can take some time to rest, and then we can get back into the homeschooling. And we're busy all the time. So.
I think you said that you do the, but what time of day do you normally clean the church?
I usually go in the middle of the night.
Okay. All right, so it doesn't take away from what you're doing with the kids?
No, they're already in bed.
Okay. Did you have a conversation anytime with your husband over the past 10 years where he asked you to find full-time work?
No, never. He wanted me to stay home and take care of him in the house and the kids. He never wanted me to work at all.
Why do you say that?
Because he wanted me to do everything, keep the house spotless, have dinner ready when he came in the door, wash his laundry, and do everything. Yeah.
Okay. Did he do things around the house, like mowing the lawn and raking leaves and that type of thing?
Not very often, and he might mow 3 times a summer. Sometimes I could get Quentin to do it. That didn't get mowed very often at all. Like he took our bathroom to fix, and it 4 years later I fixed it the rest of the way myself so we could shower again. Because he never finished it.
Okay. So you indicated that you want to move back into the home.
Yes.
Have you looked around this area to see what else you could get into with the kids?
I have. We probably went and looked at a dozen houses, but they're all in really awful neighborhoods, and they were all in really bad shape.
Okay. Have you looked at any apartments?
No, they're so expensive that I didn't.
Okay. Why did you go around looking at houses to move into?
Because my mom said she'd help us get somewhere to stay, and we needed somewhere.
Okay. So you don't see that as being realistic, being able to buy just some other house right now?
No, if it would have been, I would have already done it if I could have found something. There's nothing out there that isn't completely trashed and in a really bad neighborhood. It just wouldn't be safe to be in for the kids.
Well, you're gonna have to pay $95,000 to Mr. Party, correct?
Yeah, the houses are just so expensive right now. Even the ones in really bad neighborhoods are that much money, and they don't even come with appliances and have holes in the walls and furniture.
Okay. All right. So
What is she whining about now?
when Mr. Party lost his job earlier this year, how did that affect you and the kids at home?
It was awful. He was home all the time. There was no escape.
What do you mean by that?
He treats us so bad.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. She sounds so fake. I feel bad. So, what she, he was home all the time. Bitch, what do you're gonna, you can't say that. Oh my God. Was there any happiness at all? That's sad. But also, like, maybe I'm the opposite kind of person where it's like I like to spend time with the person that I love and want to be with and just want to hang out with them all the time. So I'd be like, where are you going? Can I go too? I don't get that vibe from the lady here that she was very nice to be around.
Everybody hides when he gets home. They don't come back out till he goes to bed.
What kind of things would cause the kids to hide?
He just comes in and he's constantly complaining about something. Yelling at everybody. He's just always mean, always mad. He's always in a bad mood. You never know what it's going to set him off. You have to walk on eggshells all the time. It's exhausting.
What was his mental health like earlier this year from your perspective?
He's getting crazier and crazier. He's believing the weirdest conspiracy theories, and he's scaring me, really. I'm afraid of him. He kept threatening to commit suicide, and I'm really afraid of him.
So when you say he kept threatening to commit suicide, what was he saying?
At one time at the dinner table, I don't remember what set it off, but he said, I'm just going to go run myself into a tree because I don't want to live this life anymore. He just would say things like that all the time. It got where nobody even paid attention.
Did it have anything to do with the loss of his job?
No, that was before he lost his job.
Okay.
I think he got fired on purpose.
Why do you think that?
I'm pretty sure he knew I was going to leave him, so he got fired so that he would be home to try to stop me and keep an eye on me. He was going to work and, deliberately being obstinate and defiant and yelling at people and stuff, and bad behavior at work.
I'll object to that. It sounds like this is hearsay. I don't have a foundation for where she learned this from.
Sustained.
Yeah, that is hearsay. Don't tell us anything you don't know, you heard, or you saw.
He told me that, but
Okay. Was he drinking to excess at that time?
yes, he was having like 5 or 6 beers a night, most nights. On the weekends, it would be more.
And did you smoke marijuana with him?
Yeah, never around the kids, but yeah, we did.
Okay. How often?
Probably every evening.
Okay. Did you cut that out?
Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I stopped when he did.
And did you drink alcohol when he did?
No, I don't really like to drink very much. I very seldom have anything to drink.
Okay. Okay. What was the reason that you went to the domestic shelter?
I just like to drink.
I went to a lawyer and I told her I wanted to leave, and I told her I was afraid of him and he's got guns in the house, and that's what she advised me to do. She was afraid that he would hurt us.
Does he have guns in the house?
He does have 2 guns in the house.
Okay. Are they handguns or rifles?
Rifles and a rifle and a shotgun, I think.
And do they stay locked up?
No, they're just in the bedroom closet, and the ammo's right there too.
Okay. And so that was concerning to you?
Yes, it was very scary to me.
Okay. Have your fears calmed down since that time?
No,
Have you and him been alone together since that day?
no.
Okay. What happened when you attempted to get your clothes recently?
I asked him if I could come and get some of my winter clothes from the house because it's getting cold, and I'm cold, and he wouldn't let me. I offered to come with the police or with the pastor or anybody he picked, but he wouldn't let me.
Okay. Did he meet you in the car with clothes?
He did. He brought 3 trash bags full of clothes, but I couldn't take them with me. There was no way that 3 bags of clothes and the kids were going to fit in the car at the same time when I picked them back up, and I don't have anywhere to store them. And he wouldn't let me look through them. I asked for 5 minutes to look through them, and he would do it.
Well, what did he say when you asked him that?
He said it would take too long and that he was busy and had to go.
Okay. Did you offer any other ways that you could get your clothes?
Yeah, I asked if I could look through them later at the church when I picked the boys back up, and he said no, that there weren't any witnesses around, and he was afraid of what I would do or something, and he didn't want to spend hours letting me look through the clothes. I just asked for 5 minutes, but he kept saying no, it'll take too long.
Okay. So did you get any of your winter clothes?
He brought me a couple of jackets. That's all I have.
Okay. What about the kids? Do they have winter clothes?
Yeah, they got their own stuff out of the house and brought it.
Okay. So they've been able to bring things back and forth?
Yeah, he lets them bring things back and forth, just not my things.
Okay. So, if you are not granted this house, are you going to be able to stay in this basement for much longer?
They would really rather us not. They would probably let us though.
Okay.
We don't have anywhere else to go.
Okay. Do you believe that that Jerry should pay you a reasonable amount of spousal support going forward?
Yes, I think he should have to.
Okay. And what are you asking as far as the children are concerned?
Well, the Wednesdays are really disruptive to our lives, and the summers are too. So I'd prefer it if they only went every other weekend and every other holiday.
Okay. How is the Wednesday disruptive?
It's just cuts our day right in half, and then we had to miss a lot of things that we could have gone to do with friends, and you can't always get all of the schoolwork done, and it's just really disruptive, and the kids are, depressed about it all day because they don't want to go, and it's just really disruptive to our lives.
Okay. Now, there's no reason that they can't go for Calhoun County parenting policy holiday time, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they could do that.
Okay. And weekends seem to go fine?
Yeah, weekends seem to be fine.
All right. Are you asking the court to grant you sole physical custody of the children?
Yes, please.
Okay. What about legal custody? Do you feel as though you and Jerry can talk to each other and make decisions together?
No, I do not. He's just almost impossible to make any decision with. It's either his way or no way. I have almost no say. It would be like pulling teeth. We would never agree on anything. It would be a nightmare.
Do you think that if a doctor made a recommendation about some type of treatment for one of the boys, that you could agree that that would be the right thing to do?
That would be tricky. I mean, he doesn't believe in a lot of the vaccines and things, so it would be really hard depending on what it was.
Does he believe in COVID?
No, he thinks it's fake and made up.
This whole
Have any
video
of
is
the
going to get
boys
taken
been vaccinated for COVID?
No,
How about flu shots?
no, we don't get those either.
How about other shots, chicken pox and mumps and measles and those types of shots?
I did take them all in for those, but he insisted that I drag them out into a modified long-term schedule, so they didn't get them when they were supposed to, but they did get them all.
Okay, so if there was a recommendation going further about another booster or COVID shots, you don't think you could agree?
No.
Do you think those are important things?
Yes.
All right. Have the two of you in a situation where there was a child hurt, something needed to be done, that you disagreed?
Yeah, there's been several times where the boys have had injuries and I thought they needed to be seen and that they needed stitches, and he wouldn't let me take them to get looked at. Like Logan had a really bad cut in his finger down to the bone, and Jerry wouldn't let me take him in to get it stitched, and he's lost the feeling in that finger in that area, and he still has no feeling in that finger. That was 2 years ago.
So what do you mean that he wouldn't let you? Could you say, I'm going to do it, and do it anyway?
It'd be a punishment if I did.
Like, what would happen?
It would be something awful. A silent treatment for a week, or something would be destroyed or dead when I came back. You never know. Could be anything.
Okay.
I do agree, Miss K. They're like that because I wear a bathing suit, so some of this is a real tan, and that's why they are off. Because I was tanning in public and was if you can believe it, slightly more modest than I am on camera. But that's why there's such the big color difference. Also, I'm wearing a beige bra, so maybe, but you're not seeing much of the bra. Boob talk. Yeah, that's right, Mikey. Find a topless beach. Yeah. Or a tanning bed. Well, I probably won't go in a tanning bed because I'm very, very fair. I mean, this is literally me tanned. I know, I gotta sort it out. Tanning bed for the nude. Well, aren't all tanning beds for the nude? Like when I used to go tanning back in the day, you were naked. Actually, I have a really good self-tanning product that I use that I probably will just keep using. So it's called Fake Bake, and it's actually really good. I have a whole thing, but it's expensive. It's like $60 a bottle, which is pretty expensive. But I used it when I got married. Like that's how much I trusted it. It's very good. You have a nudist campground 1 town over. Wow. Well, I guess I wouldn't get tan lines there. Always wore a thong tanning. Didn't want to burn the kitty cat. That's funny, Miss Carrie. Okay, let's see where this goes. You guys are probably gonna hate me, but we're not watching the cross. We're letting her finish her questions, and then I gotta call it. We've almost gone 2 hours, and I've been sitting here most of the time, not.
Do you have enough money at this point to pay your attorney fees?
No,
Okay. Do
Camping
you owe,
trip to
do
the
you owe Mr.
nudist
Brundage,
camp.
for mediation fees?
I put it on the credit card.
Okay. In the $12,000 credit card?
Yeah.
Okay. So going forward, is it gonna be rough for you to pay attorney fees?
Yes, it will be. It's very
Okay.
hard. We're barely getting by.
And what do you think that you will need in spousal support going forward?
Anything would be helpful. We've had to go to the food bank.
Okay, now, when your husband was out of work, did you apply for state aid?
Yeah, he was out of work for 5 weeks once, and we applied for state aid, but we were denied because he had too much money in the bank and then too many cars, and so that made him very distrustful of the government and the banking. He stopped putting money in the bank after that. Started putting it in a safe in the basement instead. He would cash his checks every Saturday. That was our routine. We'd go to the bank and cash a check and get breakfast, and he'd put it in the basement in the safe. It'd be about $6,000 every time.
Did you apply for Medicaid for yourself and the kids this year?
Yes, I did in May.
Were you granted? Do you have Medicaid for yourself and the kids?
Yes, me and all 3 of the kids and Quentin all have Medicaid.
Okay. And did Mr. Party even mention to you that he signed the boys up for insurance with his employer?
No, he didn't. I had no idea that he had insurance on them.
Okay. What about Quentin? Do you think he knows he has no insurance through his dad?
Yeah, he knows. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Isn't insurance a good thing?
Now, considering the payment you'll have to make to your mother and for other expenses, would you be asking the court for $1,000 a month in spousal support?
Yeah, that would be great. That would help a lot.
Okay. Now, your $12,000 credit card at this point, was it just to keep you going and until you got some support?
Yeah, it was just all stuff we needed, like shoes or food or car repairs that we had to have done.
$1,000 a month. Hold on.
The
$1,000.
ball joint went out. I get hit by a semi and the tire.
Shut
tore
up
up.
for a second. Shut your whining. $1,000 a month spousal, and then how many kids under whatever? She's getting easy another $400 or $500 for child support, I would imagine. Right? Hi Jim, thanks for being here. Yeah, that's not, so that was just the spousal number, remember, not the child support number. Plus she's getting half the retirement benefits, all those things.
And did you take some money out of the joint savings account at one point when you first separated?
The checking account I did, but I was afraid to touch it, so it's all just still there. And a new bank account.
Okay. So how much did you take?
$13,000 and 82 and some change.
How much of the account was that?
Half of it.
Okay. So it's sitting there right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spousal support in Canada is not a long time thing either. It is meant to be like a bridge to carry somebody over until they have the ability to sustain themselves, like maybe like 2 or 3 years. They really don't like doing it for longer than that. So I would hope that that's not the case.
Waiting to be granted to you by the court?
Yep.
Okay. All right. No other stocks, bonds, or any other asset that we haven't spoken about?
I don't think so.
Okay. Do you have any way to prove to the court that there was money in a safe in the basement when you left?
He opened it and showed it to me a couple of times, but I have pictures, but that's all.
Any way of showing the court or telling the court how much?
Well, one time he was at his friend's house making beer, and across the street the Yukon was for sale, and he called me and asked me if I wanted to come test drive it, and I did. And then he asked if I wanted to buy it, and I said yes. And then we went home, and he went into the basement and he took $10,000 in cash out of there, and we went back and bought it. It was on a Sunday. The banks were closed.
And that was within the last year?
No, that was 6 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
I asked him how much money was in there, and he told me over $100,000.
Okay. All right, thank you. I have no further questions.
Mr. Umloff, cross-examination.
A few questions.
Yeah, I imagine he does have a few questions. Unfortunately for us, that'll be for tomorrow evening. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. I would implore you to please make sure that you hit the like button. We will continue this tomorrow with cross-examination, perhaps also a dramatic reading of all of those things. Miss Carrie, I'm sorry. I have work too. I have more than, and I have too much work. But listen, I am so thankful that you guys are here. I really appreciate it. Aw, Cellulite Yoga Pants, I appreciate you catching alive, but I'm glad to know you were part of the replay crew. Leave a comment if you're on the replay crew, so that we know you're around. Remember, I love you. I'm proud of you. And I will see you tomorrow, even from this messy house. Okay, bye. Bye. Oh, wrong. It's the wrong fucking button. And if Larry could help me even a bit, it would be great. Love you guys. Bye.